All right, now in this segment, I want to discuss Robert Morris. I'm going to read a lot of this off of here. He is an American former televangelist pastor. Um, he founded Gateway Church, a megachurch in Southlake, Texas, in 2000.
Okay.
He was recently, he's convicted child sex offender of assaulting children under the age of 12. Again, this goes back to the ultra conservative, right wing, Bible thumping, basically the stereotype that I was discussing in the previous one. But this guy went all the way to being the religious advisor for Donald Trump.
Wow.
Morrison served on a 25-person evangelical executive advisory board to Donald Trump and his 2016 presidential campaign, and hosted the Trump Gateway Church in June of 2020. Now you have this man who is a predator towards children under the age of 12 while preaching the gospel. And again, it's a mega church, so he's getting just ungodly amounts of money, and he's working with the I don't even want to say his name anymore, but the Cheeto in chief, we'll call him that. And yet, here we are again. He got reelected, and because of these right-wing, right-leaning conservatives are still voting for not one just the monster, the monster that worked for the monster.
Right.
It's not just one simple thing where, with a campaign, there's a lot of people that work in there, and having a bad egg is one thing. Dude, it is bad egg after bad egg after bad egg after bad egg, and yet people still champion this.
And it's pardon after pardon after pardon after pardon, which is even worse, in my opinion.
Well, for example, he just pardoned a drug trafficker. Last year, yes, it was last year, he had pardoned the largest drug trafficker in the history of mankind. The guy that was selling drugs on the dark web. He has pardoned multiple different registered sex offenders. One of them was a murderer, but yet this is supposed to be about law and order.
Well, yeah, but the wild thing is, this was such an insult to me personally. I don't care for a whole lot of things that the dude does. Of course, there's some good things that we can find. But right in the middle, I mean, it was like he was trying to test the
See how far he can push it.
That's a word. The loyalty of his followers, because literally while you're in the middle of a campaign with Venezuela, blowing up drug boats, narco-terrorist boats, you're running this saying that they're bringing these things into the country and you're going to stop drugs and you're going to do this. And in the meantime, in the exact same sentence, at the exact same timeline, doing exactly what you said. That's whenever he pardoned this drug trafficker.
Well, so it's one was a drug trafficker, the other one was a drug lord. Excuse me.
It's just an insult. It's an insult at this point. So it's like, of course, I can't see the good in him. Okay, did you see all the good things he's doing? No.
No, because the darkness is too far overshadowing any kind of light.
It really is. And, and that's real. The thing is that's a fact.
It's frustrating.
It is. But the thing is that is a fact. You can look up the court dockets. You can look at the pardon. You can look at all of those things. This isn't something that's formed on an opinion. This is something that came out of his mouth. Specifically, we're targeting narco-terrorist boats, Kristi Noem, all them. We're going after them. Law and order, like you said. But
Drain
in the meantime,
swamp when you are the fucking swamp.
But in the meantime, you're literally pardoning these people. So it's like, hey, why do you keep trying to sell me this? How am I supposed to believe anything at this point? But again, someone that I may debate with over some of Trump's policies are going to say, well, you're just, automatically, you believe in the liberal media and you believe in that. And it's like, no, I believe in exactly what he's telling us. Now, is that all AI? Or because this is some kind of roundabout AI on Fox, he said this, and what is it?
One thing that I want to touch on is he bitched and moaned, threw a fit, and even threatened to attack over getting a Nobel Peace Prize. Here's the thing. He didn't take office until after the nomination process was done. Even if he had even done something worth of getting the Nobel Peace Prize, basically the drawing was already done for this round. So it doesn't matter. But then while he's throwing a fit about getting one, he bombed, 8 countries now? He's threatened yet another one of our allies.
8 wars, though.
Name one that actually occurred.
Exactly.
But I mean, he's still going on with this Greenland thing. We are already in Greenland. We already have a military base in Greenland. So that's a moot talking point right there. Right. But he has threatened the European Union. He's threatening them with he's already threatened them with military action. He's threatening to put tariffs on them until they let him buy Greenland, which how is it that you got enough money that you can give everybody in Greenland $1 million but we can't get health care in this country?
Well, they were talking about giving them like $100,000.
Now it's up to $1 million.
And, now it's you mentioned Greenland, and it's something that I didn't get to look into because, of course, like I say, I was been scrolling Facebook today, and I did see where they have come to some sort of agreement in him potentially buying Greenland. Like they're actually kind of starting to waver there.
And so 1 year brought in an additional $2 trillion in debt.
Yeah, and so maybe that's something that we could look at as far as, if is that really happening? Was that just something that I
think it was something you just scrolled by. Because there's so much misinformation.
Somebody spun it that made it sound like that there was, some way it's going to do. Because all I've seen is literally everybody on that side of the planet going, this isn't going to happen, including people in Greenland.
They've already started moving military forces over there.
You'll see on Fox News where they show people with MAGA hats and all of that. Well, of course, I can go down and find a pit of people.
Whoa! I know what you're talking about when they did that photo op.
I think so.
Yeah, those were paid homeless people. He literally went to the airport, found some homeless people, gave them some money for a photo op, and flew back.
But where did you get that? Where did you get?
Dude, that was all over the news last year.
That it was homeless people?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Next time I run across,
what I'm trying to point out is the fact that I can go find a pocket of people because every country's going to have it. Just like you go to Russia, you've got your Putin loyalists and you got your people that are against him. Mm-hmm. Whatever your agenda is, I'm going to go there.
Hell, you can just bring some people with you for the photo op. Hell, like I said, you just grab people off the street and say, "Hey, here's a couple $100, hold the sign up next to me." Then you do a victory lap, claiming victory.
Right.
I don't know, dude. It is so goddamn frustrating.
Right. And so back to where this started. You were talking about the pastor that was caught on that. And so is there anything else that you were going there?
No, I just wanted to throw back to our first conversation where I was throwing such a very broad net, but I wanted to bring back that the ones who yell the loudest are the ones you should be looking at.
Right.
Because he was yet another one of those mega church, loud, evangelical, and then diddling kids.
We're going to save the kids. We're going to go against drag, tram.
And I have 35 sources listed right here.
Right. Oh, well, I'm not going to doubt it. And I'm sure if anyone
I did pull them up.
Yeah, so if they, want to kind of challenge that in the comments, please do, because I think that, we do generalize a lot of things. We do spout off some things, but I know that we're always, up and willing for, friendly debate, and, we'll show sources. We'll show sources on those things. That was, part of us finding this thing, like I told you, I wanted to, stop the whole thing, look up something credible, look at 5 different sources and see if we can get the same thing. And I believe that's how both of us do our research anyway. or at least something, credible numbers that's not an opinion piece.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that's great that clarified all of that sort of thing.
Well, if you remember when you originally came up with the concept of the show, was at any point in time you can be challenged on your sources.
Right.
You can come out here and say whatever you want. You better back it up.
Right.
And you and I don't do that a whole lot because we've already sent the information before we ever do the show.
Like
when we have a guest on, they can challenge us.
Like you said in an earlier piece, you don't really shoot your mouth off without looking into it first.
I don't want to look like a fool.
Right. And I mean, you said it, man.